Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn. And today we're going to be playing with the benchmark. What you're seeing is pretty much what you would see in the game. In fact, as far as I know, this is actually in-game content you're going to see. This is what the graphics look like. This is basically a benchmark of sort of part of the game in there, running with AI and just showing you an example of how things would look, and it's testing your computer out to see if your computer can handle it. You can get the benchmark and more of the information I'm going to talk about in the description below. But I want to talk about basically Final Fantasy XIV and what's happened. So the game launched back in 2010, where it was pretty much unpolished. Not a lot of content, a lot of problems, a lot of bugs, a lot of really bad things. They kept charging for it. They didn't really fix it up fast enough. It was pretty much a disgrace, unfortunately, to them and most of the community. And a lot of people were upset. I mean, this is Square Enix, one of their flagships for the Final Fantasy series. I mean, this was supposed to last a long time. Final Fantasy XI, as far as I know, is still going and was very strong. I even bought the collectors back on PS2 and played it on PC, and it was a pretty, strong flagship game for them, and a lot of players still play it. And anyway, so I just, it wasn't a good launch at all. Things went from, bad to worse, I guess. And so they decided they needed to clean it up. So the developer stand down. I don't know if it was fired or whatever. I'm not going to go into that kind of politics anyways. And the team was, as far as I know, restructured quite a bit. And the new developer, and I'm really bad with names, I shouldn't even say this, Naikoya, Yoshida, N-A-O-K-I, and his last name is Yoshida, Y-O-S-I-D-A. I'm really bad with names. I should be looking at Wikipedia and looking at the pronunciations and stuff like that. This is not a professional video. This is just for my little friends here. Anyways, he is an awesome guy. I've actually read his bio a bit. He's a really smart, well-educated guy. He even pretty much made this game free to play for a while when they were producing this game and working on it. And when things got better and they added more content and made the game even functional. So they were still working on, let's just say, Final Fantasy XIV 1.0 while they're working on 2.0, which is you're seeing here, for the community. I mean, they were still working on it, adding new patches, updates, really, trying to overhaul it. And then they slowly added a subscription fee, and I think it started from like $5 and went on and on and on. So anyways, the game was shut down a few months ago, and that was the entire point, because, they were getting ready for the Reborn launch, which is happening, I believe, August 27th, 2013, so a couple months from now. And there's a head start. I want to tell you a secret. GreenManGaming.com. Their standard edition of this game, you guys are going to flip at this. $22.50. Yes, they're going to sell the game, I think, as originally $30 for the original, no sale price here. The digital collectors, I think, is about $50, $49.99, I think, was it? And it's running on $37.50 if you use the Green Man Gaming coupon right now. 25% off, which is insane. So I'm just going to let you know, first of all, for people out there like, I'm not sure if I'm willing to. The game is pretty much $20. That's the cost of a crappy-ass indie game. And I shouldn't say crappy-ass, because there's a lot of cool indie games. But I'm just saying that is the cost of an indie game. Who could kind of say no to that? Anyways, a really good deal. The cinematic is insane. You have to see the cinematic. Again, check the description and click it. The cinematic... Oh, we're back. So it loops, apparently. So the cinematic is... I had it set to loop. But the benchmark ended and the recording ended. But anyways, the cinematic is amazing. So check that in the description. You'll love it. You'll enjoy it. I think it's amazing. And you need to watch it all. It's like a 8-minute and 40-second cinematic. It's just phenomenal. It's it's amazing. So the new game is coming out, and they're gonna have a whole brand new engine. They're using the Luminous engine, I think, allows better scaling of the graphics. So this benchmark is, proof of that. This is running really good. I remember running the old benchmark, and even on my good computer, it was like really broken, and I think it was running on the lowest settings. This one's running on I think some of the highest settings. I don't even think I have everything set, and it's doing 60 FPS plus. But you can play around with it and adjust it and check out your benchmark. Anyways, therefore lowering the game's high PC requirements, blah blah blah, so lower end computers can finally play the game. The geometry is completely redone. Pretty much eliminating the original repetitive nature of the old maps. I think it was like 8 zones, and they're splitting it down to 40 zones. So before, you look out in the distance, and I mean, you still have this. You look out in the desert, and it would go on forever and ever. Well, before it was sort of the same idea, but that desert just went on and on and on and on. You would be fighting multiple levels, but it would just never end. You'd just be stuck. And that kind of was the whole, crappy, part of it. There's a new party search feature that's going to allow cross server play. Thankfully, this is an awesome feature that should be in all games this day and age. Anyways, there's going to be new player estates, including link shell and guild housing. Awesome. There's going to be new main scenarios. The UI has been completely redone, of course, and controller-friendly UI for the PlayStation 3. And as far as I know, they're going to have add-on support for both. And I don't know how they're going to do this yet, but apparently there's going to be some kind of support for add-ons for both versions. So that will be really neat to see how that works. I don't know if they're going to be in-depth like World of Warcraft, a little less in-depth like Rift has it, or maybe even a little less in-depth like EverQuest 2 has it. I'm not quite sure how the add-ons are going to go. There's going to be even player versus player content. You're not forced in it, but there's going to be some, 1 versus 1 stuff, or even, large-scale PvP. And there's going to be delivery service via the Muggles, again. And here's players being able to jump while traveling on foot or on chocobos. This one is a big one for a lot of people. Before, you couldn't really jump. You had the old-fashioned, a jump was more of an emote. It didn't actually really happen. Now the whole jumping, it's going to be like an FPS action feeling game. You can jump and hop around. And if you look in the videos that I show on the thread there, if you check the description, blah, 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 you're going to actually notice that quite a bit. You're going to see the developers jumping a lot. They're hopping because they're trying to show you, guys, there is friggin' jumping in it. It was like Guild Wars, the old Guild Wars game. You probably remember you just moved around. There was no hopping, jumping. But anyways, they've done an amazing job. The game looks really good. They're going to have a lot of end-game content. They even have dungeons and etc. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. I'm excited myself. I think you should check it out. And thank you so much for watching, and hope you enjoyed this. And I guess we're going to finish here any second here on this nice benchmark. Oh, here they are, fighting ass. Look at all these bosses. I guess they're showing off different bosses here. Or is it the same one? Who's that evil, creepy, scary guy there? Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. We ran this benchmark twice, just to give you an idea. We looped around. And look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Thanks again, guys.